Well, hello there, lovely peoples. We're getting ready for a trade show this time. I've come off the ute just for a little bit. Got some stuff to do. Actually, the taillights got wired today, so I even took it for a spin down the street because it had taillights, so it kind of seemed okay. But we'll have more with that car soon. It's coming along just nicely. We have another trade show coming up. We watched the Beachfest one earlier. It was an alright show as far as our setup went, but it left a lot to be desired. We had our new tent, which I was really wrapped with. This time I want to step it up a little bit, and instead of everything laying flat on the table, I want to get it all up and sort of more 3D looking. So this is the start of the video. We're going to go backwards a little bit, and you'll see the little engine mock-up that I've done. It's basically going to be a mock-up, a tin casing of an engine, so that I can display headers better. I've also made a header just for display. It's non-functional. Well, actually, it could function. I made it so it fits an engine. It fits a small block Chev. Outlet might be a bit of an issue as to where it goes. Nonetheless, that's just come back from ceramic coating. I'm really happy with that. The engine mock-up, and I'll show you a few other bits I'm working on. So this is my engine block, so to speak. I needed some way of displaying headers and whatnot at our shows, and I just figured come up with an engine block that I can actually pick up and take with us. So this is what we came up with. Just had it folded up out of some sheet metal. Came up pretty darn good too. I'm going to drill it so it suits all the different headers for all the different cars and whatnot that we deal with. We'll just have them all drilled out so that each one will just fit up without any hassles whatsoever. So that's going to be how that works. Just bang some holes in her. Now, moving on to some valve covers, because an engine has to have valve covers. Now, I picked these up off eBay. They were pretty cheap, about 200 bucks, something like that. They're an anodized red valve cover, and once I painted all black, I think they'll look pretty schmicko. So they'll go on there like that. I'm just going to nutsert them. Drilled a couple of holes, probably a little bit too big, but no. So that's that bit. We'll come back to that a little later on. This is what I'm working on at the moment. I want our mufflers to stand upright, so I've started making these up. It's just going to give it a bit more of a 3D effect so the mufflers stand upright. I've got some bases. I'm just working on these at the moment. They're going to be the upright sections. We'll go through and do them. This is all lead up to Muscle on the Mountain. It's been a few years since this show was on, and I'm particularly excited. It's always been a big show. We have been nearly every year it's been running, I believe. It's been a really good one. So I'm just trying to put together something more 3D and interactive, sort of draw people in and want to touch it and ask questions and stuff like that. Flip you back around. So this is the muffler, and that's kind of the angle I want it to sit on. Love our KM branded mufflers. These are beautiful. So that little piece is just going to go in the end here and support it so it stays like that on the bench. So I'm going to make a few of those up for each of our mufflers. And we're going to have a few other bits and pieces that are sort of a bit more interactive, I suppose. I want to take more headers and more stuff that really interests people and really show people and showcase what we can build and put together for the cars that we work on. So that's kind of where this is at. I'll take you through each piece and show you what we're doing. All right, this is what I made. Just a very simple little upright stand. Just cap the top of it, so I thought it looked a little bit better. And it's just going to hold the muffler up. I'm going to paint them black. I'll eventually get them powder coated, but I'm running out of time. It's Wednesday night now, and the show's on Sunday, so ain't going to be time for that. Let's stick it in the muffler and see how it looks. And that's what I was going for. Just holds it up off the bench, gives it a bit more of a 3D look and feel to it. Sort of showcases things a little bit nicer, which is what I'm going for. Our new tent looks fantastic. The everything sitting on the bench thing just wasn't working for me. I went ahead and TIG welded it, mainly because I actually don't get out in the workshop and do as much as I used to, so I like to stay in touch with all those bits and pieces, you know, pick up the TIG whenever I can, and TIG. MIG you never forget. No one's ever been accused of forgetting how to MIG weld, that's for sure. So yeah, I'll have two of these ones for the 2.5 inch. I did a 3-inch one as well. I'll do that many for now. I made 3, so I'll do that many for now, and then if I feel the need to do some more for the display later, well, we can just knock up a couple more. It's not a big deal. All right, I've moved on from the other bits. We should probably show you that. They're over here. There's one here. Zip them up with a bit of black paint. There we go. They are now drying. They are done. Tick that one off the list. Back over to this thing. I'm hoping to have this powder coated before the weekend. One of the guy does our ceramic coating, Mr. Stephen Eastgate, East Coast Performance Coatings. If you need coating done, check them out. He dropped this back to me yesterday and goes, you know what? I could probably get that coated by the weekend if you really desperately needed it. So I'm probably going to take him up on that. This is the header. I made this last week. I really should have filmed it, but it's one of those things. I did it all at night time. I was just kind of in the zone, enjoying my time. Pretty funky bit of gear. So I didn't actually bother filming it. Sometimes it's nice just to do things. So yeah, that's that. But this is just designed for regular hangers to headers to hang off of. Good lord. And this does fit that small block Chev, spark plugs work, all that sort of thing. Even though the outlet's probably non-functional for any car, I still it is what I do, you know. I made sure it actually works and functioned as best as it could. But anyway, this is just a preset angle that I decided it was going to work, and it works for every other header I'll ever bolt to this thing. You can see there's a bunch of holes pre-drilled, so it takes a multitude of different headers, except for this fancy little bit of gear. So I just put some spacers in it, just stepped it off the side. That's the valve covers I'm going to run on it. We'll paint it black. There's some trumpets coming as well, but they're taking forever, been about 2 weeks. But the weight of this hanging, especially off this bit, and it's only 1.2 steel. So what I'm doing is, I've only just worked out what I'm doing, to be honest. I'm going to make up a little brace for it, or a support end. So this is just a flange. I've just cut it up. That's the rest of it there. Just a stainless steel flange, just a bit of stainless steel rod as well. So my plan here is, I'll shape this so it sits in there a bit nicer, is I'm just going to make a little support end that's going to go up under here and just support the end of it to carry the weight of all of this so it doesn't just buckle that 1.2 steel. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. This amazing piece of kit is our exhaust bender. I'm going to bend this like I would normally bend a exhaust hanger with some rod, give you a quick walk around. This end expands things, and this end here bends pipe. It's a very old school machine. These things have been around for a very long time. We don't use it much for bending pipe. We don't do a lot of that. Most of what we do is mandrel bent, where we take bends like that, weld them all together. That's a mock-up system for the new Ranger, actually. Still working on that, still in development. So it's very simple. It's got a little lever here. I'm just going to bend this to about 90 degrees. Bends 12mm stainless rod like nothing else. What are we looking there? Scoosh more. Just sneak up on it here. There we go, I reckon that's about us. What are we looking there? About 90. Looking pretty good. So I'll cut that to length and weld it to the, what do you call that? Flange! Bloody flange. I'm going to cut it to length and weld it in there like that. Just going to trim the end up. And then I'll make just a little, probably a triangle piece, like another 90-degree piece, and we'll weld it to the back side of that. It'll give us a nice little support. And that's my simple little bracket. Bit of an angle, sort of captured the way it sort of sits properly. Probably could have been a little bit more tilted. How's my flange? Oh no, it's pretty good actually. Take that back. I think I nailed it. So yeah, just a bit of 12mm stainless rod. We'll do the trick. Take the weight of it. And this is basically the mock-up of how the trade stand's going to look. I think it's pretty cool. Valve covers courtesy of eBay. Like I say, there's some trumpets that are meant to be here as well. 8 of them, they're anodized the same red. It's going to do like, oh, it's going to look really cool. But anyway, we'll get to that. We're going to be hanging a Mustang header off of this side, also ceramic coated, sort of matching there nicely. And the box, the engine, the block will be black. So that'll be that. So I'll tick this one off the list. We got the muffler braces ticked off the list. We're making some ground here. Welcome to Muscle on the Mountain. This is us. We're up here in Maleny at the showgrounds. Awesome event. They try and hold it each year, but weather's knocked it about. COVID's really knocked it about too a fair bit. But check out our new setup. It's obviously the new tent. And we're going to go for a bit of a look around. Some pretty rad cars. This is freaking nuts. It's a 100 Series Land Cruiser. A couple of other awesome muscle cars. Utes. Pretty much anything goes at this show. You can have hot rods like you see in here. It'll switch over to a bunch of import cars, lowriders, 6 cylinders, 8 cylinders, rotaries. There's no rules. 4-wheel drives, anything goes, which makes it a really cool show. Now this car is just everything I thought was exciting. Never seen one in real life. I was pretty stoked to check that thing out. Yeah, you just don't see them, especially not in Australia, man. It's just such a rad car. like that, it was all over. Warm up Corey's queue, the Mighty Navara's ready to go, and everyone else as well, they're packing up and leaving. Thanks for watching, we'll see you guys on the next one.